Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. You may have noticed recently that I kind of changed things on the main page of the channel. So this is just because I'm, gearing towards changing the whole thing into another type of channel rather than just focusing on videotapes. But once again, like I said in the past, it won't change the fact that I will still cover videotapes whenever I do find something interesting or like extremely rare. Of course, I will show it to you guys. So anyway, for today we continue with the videotape videos, and I have no less than about 20 tapes to show you. It's going to be a bit of a mix. I have some late releases in there, and I do have some old stuff. Let's start with the late releases. Let's get those out of the way, simply because I have a few in there that I've showed you in the past. So anyway, now the first one I want to show you is my biggest disappointment of what I've been able to find recently. It's Child's Play Chucky 5, which is a seed of Chucky. And the reason I'm saying is my biggest disappointment, it's simply because, I mean, from the look of it, you'd be like, okay, it looks fine, looks okay. I mean, there's barely any, maybe just tiny bit of sun fade and everything. But I mean, once you open it up, if I remove the tape, can you see on the back? I mean, well, it's transparent, you can kind of see it, but it gets worse if you would see the actual sleeve like this. It's a very bad case of mold, of course, and the sleeve was also kind of beat up. So by that I mean because of the mold. So I'm trying to do two things at the same time. Okay, yeah, so I'll just place it back. All right, so yeah, because it was so affected by the mold, parts of the edges of the sleeve right here at the top and the bottom, and even the edges, I mean right there, you could see it would easily rip off and kind of fall apart. I mean, I was able to slide it back in and without any issues, but yeah, this was something okay. So anyway, usually I wouldn't buy this stuff, but like I said, I came across it and I didn't thought it would be that bad, and that alone was kind of not too much of an issue because I did that afterward, by the way. It wasn't damaged like this, but the tape itself, see, I didn't properly clean it up. I gave up halfway through because I was trying to clean it. As you can see, it's been clean here, it's fine, but right here it still has like halfway through, it hasn't been cleaned because like I said, I gave up. Because if you would look at the tape, maybe it doesn't show up too much here because this part of the movie was fine, but it has some residue of mold. Like I said, this part is kind of fine-ish, but I mean, if all this part here has kind of mold and this part, let's say, is okay, for me it's not okay, because if someone plays this tape, we'll have like a bad surprise halfway through and the movie will jump or whatever. Like I said, if it would affect the movie like 5 minutes, let's say the first 5 minutes of the film, there's a bit of like, tracking issues, and after that it's perfectly clean. I mean, and that's one thing, but if half the movie is like this, it's a no-go. So that's why this one I'm probably gonna bring it back. Hopefully the guy will exchange it for me, because I can't keep this. I mean, this is just straight up garbage. And the good thing is, since I picked this up from a store, not an online store, like I said, I may be able to exchange it. Usually, some of the sellers, they do it like if they know you, like you've been shopping there for quite a while, they're open to do this. But if this was purchased online, I would be kind of screwed, and it would be just like money lost right there. So yeah, and even the sticker was all ripped off here. Like I had to glue it back gently. Anyway. Yeah, not a good copy. I mean, if the tape would have played perfectly, that's one thing. I mean, I could have sell it saying like the sleeve is, the back of the sleeve isn't good looking. But yeah, it's just a no-go. So anyway, I'm showing it to you because just to show you that it exists. There's a Korean release of Seed of Chucky, and I've been looking for it for like quite a while, and it's quite rare. But sadly, this one is a no-go. All right, let's keep going. Okay, next we have this one back in stock, which is Superman. So this is the 2005, I think this is 2006. Yeah, it's an October 2006 release. It's been released on 2 tapes. So here you have part 1, part 2. I mean, look at this. It's near mint, no sun fade whatsoever. So that's why I picked it up. Again, if they had like some sun fade, because I kind of saw this tape a few times. So, but this one was so clean. Came in the original Warner Brother clamshells as well. I mean, this is a hard pass, so yeah, I picked it up. So if you don't own this one, I'm gonna put it up for sale, and it's gonna be a good price, by the way. Probably around 50-ish, I guess, because it's on 2 tapes. And by the way, it sounds silly, but whenever you buy tapes in Korea, if the movie's on 2 tapes, usually the seller will charge you double, because it will charge you like 2 movies, even though it's the same film. This is kind of Korean logic here. Don't try to understand it. It's just the way it works. I hate when they do that, but they actually do. So actually, this movie cost me twice the price of one movie. Yeah. So there you go, Superman. All right. Next, let's say the next 2. Let's go. The next 3 tapes are actually special requests, so they're not going to be for sale, but I'm going to show them to you anyway, just so you know that they exist in South Korea on videotape. So the first one we have is 1408. So this was a movie with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. Came out, I think, 2008? Well, it says 2007 October for the VHS release, so maybe the movie was late 2006-ish or something like that. I can't remember. I remember I seen it, but I don't remember like all the details about the dates and everything. But yeah, this is a late 2007 release. A beautiful copy, by the way. There's no apparent sun fade. This here is because I had to remove a little sticker, so you can see it has like a bit like of a, you know, it's a little bit lighter, like the yellow is a bit lighter, because there was a sticker right here on the sleeve, and I managed to remove it without damaging anything, so very, very proud of this. But yeah, other than that, it's a beautiful copy, super clean clamshell as well. Yeah. Oh, and see, there's no like logo of the clamshell. Usually they have a logo right here, but for this one, the logo is inside. See, Taewon Entertainment, they put the logos inside. So you have the original clamshell coming with this one. Okay, next movie that, like I said, is a special request is Nims Island. Nims Island, movie I've never seen. Yeah, I guess, yeah, not my cup of tea. So that's why I don't really look for this stuff, but I did find it and I offered it to someone that I knew would be interested, and he said, yeah, I'll pick it up. So that's why I picked this one up for him. It does have like a tiny bit of sun fade on the spine, but other than that, is a very nice looking copy. So not Secret of Nims, but Nims Island. So let me just focus for you so you can look at it a little bit closely. There you go, 2008, again, October. October is kind of popular. It's kind of like the theme of my late releases today. So yeah, October 2008, it's getting up there. Okay, next, this is the last one, again for the same gentleman. It's been put aside, so we have 7 pounds. So a movie with Will Smith. Another movie I never seen. Apparently it's very good. I think it got like really good ratings, like over 7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is usually a good indication of the quality of the film. So yeah, I mean, what else can I say? I mean, I didn't see the film, so I can't comment too much, but again, the copy is very, very nice. No sun fade on the spine, very good. Let me just show you the cassette as well. So here you go. Beautiful copy, very clean. I had to open it up, of course, but yeah, it didn't have like much mold, if any. So usually I always open them up just to make sure, because sometimes there's mold on the plastic inside, but not on the reel. But you know that if it's on the plastic, it's gonna eventually get on the reels, like on the movie, so you don't want that. So it's always a good thing to open them up, clean them up anyway. Because yeah, Korean tapes, that's how it works here. You know, they always have mold, or most of the time have mold. So let's see the date for this one. It's a little bit small, I'm sorry. Let's look it up. To 2009. So yeah, May 2009. Yeah, it's even, yeah, later release right here. So £7. Okay, next we have three horror movies, because we all love horror movies. I think this one I showed it to you before. I had it in stock, but it went to someone else because I sold all my tapes, as you know. But this one I grabbed it back because it was in pretty good shape. Again, it does have some sun fade right here, but not at the top, simply because I think there was a sticker here, so it wasn't, you know, affected by the sun fade. Other than that, it's a very nice looking copy. I think it's better than the one I had before, and that's the reason I picked it up. And once again, the tape is pristine inside, and of course there's no mold on the back of the cover or anything like that Chucky movie I showed you. So it's a very nice copy to own. So 28 days later, let me focus for you. Here we go. Both movies are very good. So 2008, this is a 2008, like very early 2008 release, around January. All right, let's move on to our next movie. I put it in late, but it's not that late release, but this is a movie from 2004. I simply bought it because this copy is super clean, and also because I have the sequel to this film, the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, rehash, reboot, whatever you call it. So I have the second one. I think I showed you in one of the previous videos. So I will have like the first and the second film. So I probably like just offer both movies as a package deal for sale. And also, like I said, because this copy, look at this, there's absolutely no sun fade on the spine. It's very beautiful. If it was just like in your normal like sun faded spine condition you find, I'll probably have left it there. But it was so clean, I was like, nah, it's a hard pass, so that's why I picked it up. Same thing again, tape is super clean, looks like new. And this will go on for sale with the other one. So I'll probably make a package deal of both tapes. So first Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, and the second one, which I forgot what was like the subtitle of it. Anyway, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Next one we have is a Australian film called Wolf Creek. There's like 2 Wolf Creek movies, and there's, I think, 2 seasons of a TV series, and apparently there's a 3rd film in the making, but you know, there's no news about it, so who knows. But the first 2 films were pretty good, and I have to admit I did watch the full first season of the TV series, which was pretty decent. And maybe a few episodes of season 2, but yeah, I have to finish that up one day. Anyway, once again, this one is absolutely gorgeous, no sun fade whatsoever, beautiful copy. This is a film that came out in late it says December 2006. So yeah, as far as I know, I think there's no US release of that. I could be wrong, because this is kind of like on the fence, you know, like 2006 you guys had releases in the US, but I don't think this one got a release, and that's why I picked it up. And also because it's a horror film, and usually horror movies are what people actually buy from me, so that's why I grabbed this one. And again, because it was so clean. And it has the original KT Media clamshell. All right, now we're down to my other stuff, which is not late releases tapes. They're all like old movies. First one right here is Enemy Gold, and this is a Andy Sedaris film. And this one, by the way, is already sold, so somebody picked it up. Somebody picked it up. I mean, I picked it up for someone, who actually bought it. So yeah, very clean as well. By the way, it took me so much time to clean all these tapes. That's why I had those like since half of them since last Saturday, and a couple I bought like on Monday. And by the time I'm making this video, it's already Saturday. So it's been a week that I've been just cleaning tapes. I mean, it's only 20 tapes, but it takes forever. Anyway, yeah, if you're a fan of Andy Sidaris, that's a super cool film to own. I don't recall seeing this like very often, if any at all. Like I don't remember like seeing this tape, or maybe I never paid attention because at the time I didn't know it was Andy Sidaris' film. But if I knew, I would have picked it up. But again, I don't recall seeing this, so that was kind of like the first time I've seen this tape, so I picked it up. And again, beautiful copy, if any or barely any sun fade. Always the indication, check your yellow. See enemy gold in yellow right here. The yellow here is way brighter. Well, no way brighter, but much brighter. So yeah, you can tell there's a bit of sun fade here, but the red is kind of nice. So yeah, it's a beautiful copy as well. Okay, next, something I've never seen before. That's why, again, I picked it up. I think it exists on US release. I don't know if it's any of like a tape that is in demand or if it's any rare or what. But it's called the Overthrone, or the Overthrow? The Overthrow. Yeah, there's not much I can say about it. I've seen it on eBay a couple times. I think it was like around $30, $40 tape. Some were cheaper, some were more expensive. Again, somewhere between 20 and 50-ish, maybe max. So yeah, not a tape that was like super expensive. But the reason I picked it up again is because this is like prime, like late 80s Korean tapes, super hard to find. First time I've seen this, by the way, so that's why I picked it up. And also look at this, there's barely any sun fade on the spine. Again, look at your yellow. Yellow is very bright here and just a bit of fade here, but not much. It's overall a very good looking tape. So here we go, a couple of like close-ups. It's a beautiful copy. Yeah, 1989, and that is on the Aju label. So let me just focus and let me show you the tape inside. The tape was already beautiful like this, so that's always encouraging. Okay, next, similar case. Another tape that I used to have a while ago, sold it when I sold all my tapes. I had a decent copy of this, but this is perhaps the most beautiful copy I've ever seen of this tape, simply because this one has zero sun fade. Okay, there's like a bit of damage at the top, simply because I think the sleeve was sticking out of the clamshell a little bit, so that's why it was like slightly damaged at the top. But other than that, there's absolutely no sun fade on there. And red is one of the colors, like I said, that is kind of hard to, it's easy to spot if it's sun faded because it's red, or yellow is super easy. But as you can see, the yellow is very bright yellow. Red is as red as the cover and the back. So there's no sun fade on this. So yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's a near mint copy, because like I said, the top here has a bit of slight damage, but most people wouldn't care about this. They would care mostly about the fade or sun fade on the spine, and this one doesn't have any. Well, there's this thing here, but it's just a plastic, it's not the sleeve itself. So right here, Amazonia. All right, so there you go. So this one will go up for, so I'm gonna put it at a very decent price, if not a very good price, simply because, like I said, I'm more geared now toward like seeing this stuff go off the shelf, so I can buy more and show you more stuff in the meantime, and not to just sleep on shelves and like stock of tapes that is just standing there and doing nothing and just like accumulating more and more. I want this stuff to fly. I want people to be happy, get new tapes in their collection. And in my case, well, I can get you guys new tapes and stuff. Okay, the next one was something I bought online. simply because in the wild it's now extremely hard to find. And it's the Ilsa she-wolf of the SS, or a great thing is in Korea they put Nazi Ilsa, which is again, I've never seen that on any other Ilsa tape, that they would actually put Nazi Ilsa. So that makes this tape quite unique, only for that. I had it in the past. I think I had 2 copies with the Nazi Ilsa. One was extremely good condition, the other one was okay-ish. This one is also in extremely good condition, no sun fade, but and again, I was happy to find like an original clamshell that I did find in the wild, so I was able to swap it, but it came in the same clamshell, same with like brand name and everything, but it was all ripped off on the spine. So let me show you. So you see there's like this kind of like little stain here, is because this part right there was peeled off, and of course throughout the years with the dust and everything, it just like stained the cover. I tried to just like clean it gently, but if you go too roughly, you may remove the ink of the she and the W of the wolf or whatever. I didn't want to gamble with this, although it's cool because it's a plain white cover, so I mean you can try to wipe it off, maybe it will come off more, but as it is, it's kind of nice. And like I said, there's no sun fade on the spine, which is wow, beautiful. As you can see, just like the cover, same colors, and the back looks great as well. No stain here, again it's only on the spine. And like I said, let me just focus again. See, the logo right here matches the logo here, so we have the original clamshell with this title, which is always beautiful to have and always welcome. So Ilsa, she-wolves of the SS. All right, next, this one I picked it up very randomly, and the reason I picked the next one up is because the cover is so cool. Not because the movie is, I've never seen the film, I know the character because I grew up in the 80s, but this is Max Headroom, and I found the cover so unique. Again, I remember the cover of this back in North America, and it just had Max Headroom, and it would say Max Headroom movie, blah blah blah. But this cover, like, is so wild with the punk guy and everything. So it was hard for me to pass on this. Also, the spine is almost unfaded. I wouldn't say it's unfaded, but it's close to unfaded. So this is a very beautiful copy all around, also very crisp edges, very sharp corners and everything, so no like beat up like edges like the previous Amazonia tape I showed you. And also original Daewoo clamshell, the old school Daewoo clamshell. Here's the tape, again it's very clean. So yeah, Max Headroom. Who, by the way, the director of this was responsible for the 1993 Super Mario movie. And after that, I think the directors never did anything else. And I think there were like 2 directors, a guy and his wife, and they never made any other movies after that. Okay, we're gonna dive into some Asian stuff now. So the next one we have is something quite strange. Just by the look of the cover, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. And actually that's what got me. I saw the cover, I was like, ooh, this is something that would be hard to pass. And it looks like black magic stuff. Let me just show you from like closer. Here you go. So this movie is actually, well, it says 1990, but it's not 19. The tape is from 1990, but the movie isn't. So this film is called Ghost Festival, and it's from 1985. And I have yet to check it out, but I will, because I'm curious to see if is it like in Cantonese, is it in Mandarin, are there any subtitles and all this kind of stuff, because that's always what we wonder with those films, if they have like the original track and everything. Some of the collectors would go for these films because there's sometimes like there's like a Hong Kong release which has like all the subtitles and everything, or maybe a Taiwanese release which is way better in widescreen and so on. But sometimes with the Korean releases of like Asian film, like Hong Kong films or Taiwanese films, is that they may, not all the time, like I mean quite rarely to be honest, but they may have subtitles, and also most of the time though they are in their original language. And it happened many times that some films were just happened to be released dubbed in Mandarin, but the Korean release was the only release with a Cantonese track. I'm not saying it's the case with this. I actually have no idea about the other releases. I've heard there was like a Hong Kong release, and that's pretty much it. So it's fairly rare, but I have to double check. Anyway, other than that, I must just tell you that I did change the clamshell for like a super clean, like you see it's all like sparkling, clean clamshell, because the other one was a bit beat up. And of course the tape itself is super clean, so it's a beautiful copy. I will have that for sale. Okay, next, once again, Asian film, something also quite rare. It's not unique. I mean, it's not just like there's a Korean release and that's it. I think there's, once again, maybe a Hong Kong release of this, or a VCD or something. I think it's a VCD, by the way. I'm not too sure, but maybe. Anyway, the Korean release of this is quite rare. It's called Mariana, and it's a film from 1982, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's Hong Kong. Yeah, it's a Hong Kong film from 1982. Very rare. Actually, the Korean release is very rare. The film itself, I think, also is fairly rare. Again, you know, the thing with the Hong Kong films and the Taiwanese films is there are like so many bootlegs left and right. So some people may say, oh, it's not rare, simply because they saw a bootleg, but it doesn't mean like the actual physical copy isn't rare. And in the case of this film, I think it is very rare. Also, the great thing about this one is, look at this, there's no sun fade on the spine. It's such a beautiful copy. It's gorgeous. Does it come in its original clamshell? It's a Sambu clamshell, but this label, I'm not familiar with it. It is Sambu. Oh, okay. Well, they had like a different logo at the time. That's weird. Okay, anyway, well, it seems like then it's the original clamshell. So Mariana. Once again, this one I will have to check if it has any subtitles. If it's in, oh yeah, I think I did check. There are no subtitles, but it is in Cantonese. So yeah, I know. Okay, it's the other one that I didn't check. Okay, next we have something I didn't have in stock for years. Simply not because it's flying off the shelf and it's always selling, but because it's really rare. It's Return of the Living Dead, which is called Battalion, and I think in Japan it's also called Battalion, so they just kept the name. So yeah, I mean, of course for this I have to admit the American release is way more cool, with the punk, you know, zombie skeleton and the gravestone writing Return of the Living Dead. That's classic, but it's so different that it's cool in its own way just because of that. Let me show you the back. So there you go. This is the back, classic. And this is on the Trust label. It's the original clamshell once again with the original writing. And the clamshell is so clean, by the way. This is this brand, because it's rare to find those like gray clamshells and to find them in good shape. And this one is actually top condition. And that's another reason why I grabbed it. I mean, could have been, I mean, if it was like totally unfaded, it would have been like, wow, gold. But in this shape, it's fairly rare. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful copy. Okay, I'm gonna go for a 2-for-1 here. Well, found Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2, or in South Korea, Evil Dead 3. So Army of Darkness right here, Evil Dead 2 here. I know you're gonna say, oh, this screenshot is from Army of Darkness. I know, that's the way they do things in South Korea. They mix up stuff just maybe to sell more. So Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, they both have some sun fade, a little bit on the spine, not too much, but a bit. Especially, once again, the yellow. Is there any like no, there's nothing bad. This is the original. Both have the original clamshells. By the way, the original clamshell for Army of Darkness is that green one, the Deu green clamshell, as you can see, which is fairly. It's not too often that you will find this clamshell. Thankfully, this one was super clean once again, but this one for Evil Dead 2. The original clamshell is that blue clamshell. It looks like almost like baby blue clamshell from Vidpia. So let me just show you. So if you have this on the spine, and if your clamshell is this is the original clamshell for Evil Dead 2, and it's actually super rare to find. Every time almost every single time I found this movie, well, maybe half of the time it was in this clamshell, but it was beat up. So most of the time, actually, I had to change the clamshell. It was too beat up to be sold as is. Or the other half of the time, it was just like in a transparent, generic clamshell. But the fact that I found like a super clean one that came in with is almost a miracle. So it makes this tape, to me, more valuable. Because that Vidpia clamshell is such a pain to find. Even if you would say like, oh, but can't you find one with just another movie? Well, it's just that there are no other movies with that blue freaking Vidpia clamshell. I mean, there are other Vidpia releases, but they don't have that blue clamshell. So anyway, it makes it like more annoying to find. But I did find it in its original clamshell and in good shape, so I'm happy. Okay, and now down to the last film. It's nothing too outstanding, but it is, for me, it is the South Korean live-action version of Street Fighter, so the video game. But it is a series. I think I talked about it before. There's, I think it's almost 15 or 16 tapes for the entire series. There's, as you can see, this one is Street Fighter 2, and there's Street Fighter 1. The series 1 is on 6 tapes. The series 2 is on 6 tapes. And there's a 3 as well, which I think is on 4 tapes, something like that. So that's why right here, if I go on the spine, it says 8. So 8, but this is the second tape of Street Fighter 2. So that's why I said 1 to 6 is Street Fighter 1, and then 7 to 12 is Street Fighter 2. So this is tape number 8 of the entire series. So it's just like one random tape. Like I said, it's nothing that amazing. But the fact that it's almost unfaded, I mean, it is unfaded or almost unfaded on the spine is actually quite rare, because they're all unfaded. Every time I would find one of these, it's super rare if like one is like minty. It does never happen. So I'm really happy about this one. Let me show you the back. So there you go, Street Fighter. And by the way, the entire like series, like from 1 to actually 12, they almost have the same cover art. Well, actually not almost, I think they do have the same cover art, except the title here. Only part 3 is more like a white cover, it's different. So yeah, so you have 12 tapes, they all look the same. Yeah. You can see like the actors right here, because like I said, it's a live action version, so you can see like the actors right here, what they look like. So really cool. I think there's like some people who uploaded this, I mean not this specific tape, but maybe part 1 to 3 maybe online, so you can check them out on YouTube and see what they look like. Maybe it's something that will interest you. I mean, if you're into those like weird costumes like from the early 90s that were done, you know, in South Korea without probably like the copyrights and everything, that's a very good example of that stuff. It's really fun to watch. Okay, so that's it for today. I think that's enough. I have so many things. You know, like I said, I thought I would wait until I get more tapes to show you, because, you know, last weekend I was, okay, I have like about 10 tapes, but this Monday I bought like so many more. I thought, well, I'm just gonna make like a whole big video and show you everything at once. So there you go. See, it doesn't even all fit into one picture. Anyway, so this is all the stuff I have, plus 3 more on the side. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And once again, I I kind of hope that my next video won't be about tapes somehow. I want to kind of show you what I'm gonna, you know, like kind of dive into in the future, which actually are like game posters and more like game related. So I kind of want to show you that because I have like some really cool stuff as well. So, you know, like it's great to, you know, see other things than tapes, maybe sometimes take a break from the tapes. But yeah, anyway, so this is the stuff I found. Once again, I keep looking. If I do find other stuff, I'll show it to you, and hopefully sooner than later. So anyway, if you have any comments, or please leave a comment, subscribe. That's the best of all. And again, see you on the next one.